Chili from Philly. Nick Papa Giorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to another episode of What's Up, Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon. And Johnny, I understand you were at a big event here on campus yesterday.
Yes, it was the 10th president of AWC, Ritika Dewan. It was her welcome reception over here at the Shoning building. And incredible event. We were talking a little bit off air. When I came in and I saw the list of speakers that were on there, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be here forever. My daughter's with the babysitter right now, you know.
Sure.
But it went by really quick. The speakers didn't exhaust anybody's time, but it was almost electric. Like all the nice things and all the good things people said about Ritika.
Okay.
Starting off from, I think she was working in Parker, math in Parker, and then made her way all the way to becoming the president here. And it's cool, like the homegrown, somebody that's, kind of went through the ranks here is now the president. But
yeah, so I was not able to be there. I would have gone, but I had to go pick up my dog from the vet.
Oh, okay.
I really had to. That wasn't my excuse.
Yeah.
But,
my dog ate my homework or something.
Yeah, no.
No.
But we had Cecilia was there, and we had
Cecilia?
Cisco representing the newsroom.
Yep, Cisco was there doing interviews, getting sound bites. But yeah, it was an incredible event, and it was like, it's almost, I don't know. I would say the word supernatural or something, because it's like how many people she's affected, and what they said about her, and all the powerful people in town, and the relationship it seems like she has with each one. It doesn't seem very transactional. It seems like she's really here to solve problems and get stuff done. So that's really good for the whole community.
Yes, and so we'll see more on that later on KWC, and then you were there. I believe Stephanie was there getting content for What's Up Yuma on social media.
Yeah, we're going to put together a video. Stephanie, she did great. She was so excited, Stephanie. Okay. She had her questions prepared, and you got to kind of get in there because everybody wanted to go and say hi to Ritika and give her a hug and stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, go get it, Stephanie.
Okay.
This is your chance. But yeah, it was a great event. But how's your dog doing?
My dog is okay. She just got spayed, so she's wearing the big cone.
Yeah.
But other than that, in better spirits today. Yesterday she was kind of dopey because, she had been sedated. Mm-hmm. So today she was more like her normal self.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad she's good.
Thank you.
So do you want to introduce the guest? Do you have it?
I can. So we have Adam MacDermot. He's the owner of Solid Family Tattoo in Yuma. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me. What's up, Yuma?
Good morning. And I met you or introduced to who you are from another guest, Solid Brown.
Right.
And I thought like you guys were a crew because of the Solid stuff, right?
Solid Family,
right.
Solid Family, yeah. And but no, that's not the case.
Nah, shout out to Carlos, man. So when I first got out here, I was looking for somebody to do some T-shirts, and we just happened to click up. We've been known each other for about 3 years now, so it just was a coincidence. He's Solid Brown, I'm Solid Family, so it's kind of like a Cali thing, man. We just kind of linked up.
Is that what it is? Maybe the name, the Solid, like do you guys use that a lot in Cali? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
he's a solid dude or something,
you
know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I was really surprised to find out that it wasn't, but shout out to Carlos for linking us up.
For sure.
So we're going to get into what you do at your tattoo spot. But before that, we want to get to know you. That's what we do with all of our guests. You grew up in the Imperial Beach area of Cali?
Yes, sir.
Next to the border?
Yeah, so Imperial Beach is the most southwesternly part of the United States. We border Tijuana. So basically, when you're on the beach, man, you see the border going in right to the ocean, and you got TJ right there. So there's a lot of culture, a lot of graffiti, a lot of artwork around and stuff like that.
So what was it like growing up where you grew up?
It was cool. It's a beach town.
So it is a beach town.
It is a beach town.
So, okay. So that's interesting. Like a border beach town. So it's not as rough? Or
I would say it's not as rough. We got our parts. We don't go in the water a lot because we border, Tijuana and stuff, and their sewage comes into our ocean. So you get the beach town, but you're like, oh, you're from the beach, but we don't really use the beach, so it's kind of.
Do you at least hang out at the beach at all?
Everybody's hanging out at the beach.
Yeah, you hang out there, but not too many people getting in the water.
Exactly.
You're just kind of enjoying the breeze.
That's it. Yep, chilling. I mean, everybody links up out there. You got the car shows. They do a lot of like stuff like sandcastle events and stuff like that. So it's real community oriented. So it's nice.
So San Luis is a border town here. Now, is there like a lot of joint ventures with the other side with Tijuana? Do they kind of do stuff like they do here? Like we have a mayor's bike ride where we go down over there and we celebrate. Was there anything like that growing up?
Not really.
No?
Usually over there, just where we border. I mean, they don't really. It doesn't really connect with like this part of the United States.
Oh,
just
okay.
because there's a lot of like stuff going on over there.
Gotcha.
It's just
Yeah, it's Tijuana. Yeah,
there you go.
yeah, it's a TJ,
exactly.
but so not as much. But so growing up, you're an artist, right? You're a tattoo. How'd you get into that? Were you doodling as a kid, or?
So it started when I was young, man, probably like 4th grade. I have ADHD, so I was always bouncing off the walls. So I had a teacher basically was like, hey, when you feel like bouncing around, disturbing everybody, draw on this little pad. And I just started drawing, man. By the end of the day, the whole pad was filled up. So fast forward to like 2016.
So we're not going to fast forward yet.
Okay.
We don't do that yet. But
All right.
you're there, the teacher, because it's difficult being a teacher. You have so many students, and I'm the same thing. They told me I had diarrhea of the mouth, but now I'm doing a radio show. So
go.
see where I'm at now, Miss Ponce.
That's
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But
there you go.
she was like, yeah, you just talk so much. Like you need to stop talking, right? And sit down. That's all she told me. But it sounds like your teacher gave you some tools to deal with it.
Yeah, and it calmed me down. She was the only one who really took the time to kind of sit there and was like, hey, I know what I'm trying to teach you. You're probably way past that. So, when you get a little urge to, disrupt everybody that's trying to learn.
So maybe you knew stuff
down.
already. Maybe something kind of came easy to you, and you're like, all right, yeah, I got that. Now what am I going to do with the rest of the time?
Kind of bored in there,
little
doodling
bored.
around on the desk and,
So you're doing that. Now, you filled it up, you said the first day or like the first week? You kind
probably
of
like the first few days.
the
man, I
first
filled
few
up the whole
days?
book, yeah.
Now, what were you doing? Do you remember at all in fourth
dude,
grade what you're doodling?
I was doing those little like when you draw the little skateboard on the pad and you flip it and you'd be go through and do a whole trick or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're doing like
Stuff like that.
mini cartoons.
I thought I was gonna say like like everyone does the S, that like stylized S.
The gangster S, yeah.
So I was wondering. That's what I was gonna say. Like, did you do the S at all? Like that S that everybody does?
Yeah, 6 lines, tied in. Yeah, we do that,
Yeah. So you're doing that, and you said it helped you. Like, tell me a little bit about what it helped you.
It helped me with the hyper focus, man. So I think I was just kind of zoned in to what I was doing, and then everything was kind of blocked out. And I think that's where the tattooing comes into play, because when I'm tattooing and I'm doing a piece, it's just me drawn in there to that client, locked in, just kind of focusing there. When I'm not tattooing, everything is everywhere. So it's just
So it's like that's like your safe space almost for
that's
you.
my safe
Yes, you get to go there. You kind of relax.
my therapy,
Yeah, you get to like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yep. Create. I get to hear cool stories all day too. So a lot of it is it's a lot of therapy, man. It's just putting my artwork on somebody and just
So, and you mentioned therapy for you,
yeah.
which is interesting because I guess you're in the industry. People call it like I need tattoo therapy.
Yeah.
That's a therapy for people. They go over there. The same thing. The reason why I went and got this on my hand.
Right.
A friend called and she's like, I just got dumped. It's like, oh no, it's like, let's go get tattoos. They're like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right. And we showed up, Cheyenne and I went over to her studio and she loved it, had a great time. Even her parents were like, she was in different spirits the next day. So it is a therapy on both sides, huh?
Yeah. And the vibe I try to put off, we're family oriented. It's just me there right now. So, and my wife's there. You might run into our kids at the front desk and stuff. So I try to put off that family energy to where everybody can feel welcome, want to come back, and not like I'm just taking money from you. At the end of the day, it's we're all in the business to make some money and whatnot, but I feel like people coming to me, they're trusting me with something. It's permanent, and they're letting me in their personal stories, man. So I feel like it's kind of a win-win for everybody if they come back and we just build that relationship together.
Yeah, we're going to see how personable you are and how welcoming you are to see if Victor's going to get a tattoo after this, because he has none right now.
We'll see. TBD, no promises.
No problem. But so you're young, you're doodling, you're doing this. But where do you go into your first job? Like you didn't start this until later, right?
Right. Yeah. So I used to be an administrative assistant. So I wore a suit and tie every day.
Suit and tie every day.
Every day, man. I was fully tattooed and was, had to cover my stuff. Yeah, man. I was working at these high-rise condos and stuff. So there was a lot of wealthy people there, and back then tattoos were frowned upon, you know what I mean? So
how'd you get into that field? Were you like academics? Like you were, you know, really good in school?
Well, my grandfather actually knew the lady who managed the place. So she was like, hey, my grandson's looking for a job. I was like 18 at the time or something. Then bam, I was doing construction for a while before that. And then went over there and I worked there for like 8 years.
8 years with the suit and tie.
Man, I had dental, vision, everything.
Oh man, now you're bragging. No,
Yeah,
but you're mentioning that because where you're at now, it's not the case.
That's not the case.
So it's a big jump. But what was it like those 8 years?
It was cool. I met a lot of interesting people. It was fun. It was kind of boring, to be honest with you. You know,
did the ADHD come back though? Like,
yeah.
you know,
I took a lot of black books to work. You know, a lot of drawing. I was by myself a lot, so it kind of helped. You know what I mean? I was just drawing and stuff, but it got boring. There was no growth, and then the art always stuck to me. And I had friends that were tattooers. I had friends that owned a shop, so.
So at that time, you're covering up. You're wearing a suit because of the position you're at. Are you still getting tattoos while this is happening?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, every day. So I would work like a swing shift. So I'd get off at 11 o'clock. I'd either go to the tattoo shop, get tattooed up, or I had a buddy come to my house or whatever. You know, do like a house call type thing.
So you're doing that now. What was it for you that it was a therapy for you, or like an escape from the suit type of life?
Yeah, escape for that. A lot of my buddies were over there. We had a wall in the back, and they would do a lot of graffiti. So it was kind of like the hangout spot too.
And that was the next thing I was going to get into. So the graffiti. So when did that take place?
That's kind of always since I was about 12, 13 years old. Yeah. And my grandparents were really supportive of the artwork. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I had a huge concrete wall in the backyard, and all my buddies would come over to the house and we'd paint murals, and so they were real supportive of the art and stuff. So it was kind of like the gathering spot right there at the house.
And there's a family like that here. Ruben, I was actually just thinking about his dad yesterday. He goes by Doobie, and his grandmother did the same thing. So it became almost a landmark in Yuma.
Yep.
It was over there off of 4th Avenue and like 8th. But anyway, like, she would let him do these murals, him and his friends do these murals on her property on this brick wall, and people would go there and see, like, okay, like every month he would kind of change it up and go over there. It became a staple.
And for facing property.
Yeah, and he's not. And you know, still today, like, you can go to his page, Doobie on Instagram. He goes out and takes pictures of all the trains.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's still a big fan of the artist. We've all gotten a lot older, but like, he still goes out there and he'll chase trains and try to find the real cool stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
But now, were you doing it with spray paint? Obviously, were you pretty good?
I was okay. So I to be honest, I wasn't that good at like the graffiti letters and stuff. I did a lot more characters, but I was tagging on a lot of stuff, so everyone knew my name around and stuff like that. So that kind of made up for the lack of the piecing.
Yeah,
part of it,
because there's in graffiti, right? There's the tagging part of it, and then but there's also like throwing up or like doing a pieces, bomb or do a piece. Tell everybody the difference.
So I mean, tagging's more you're just kind of writing, scribbling on everything you see in sight. The piecing side and the mural side is more, you're taking your time, you're putting a lot into it. People are, wanting to pay you for it. There's the bombing side when you're just, hitting the trains. You're kind of just doing bubblies everywhere, just kind of throwing your name out there type thing like that.
So what was your favorite to do? What was it? Or maybe not your favorite, but maybe you're limited because, like you said, the tagging side of it.
Probably going out tagging and just, when you're younger and you don't have those, that consequence in the back of your head, you know what I mean? It's a little different. So,
and PSA wise, the consequences there, I got arrested for it. And then, when I got arrested and I went to juvie for it, I felt more, I guess, pain for my parents that had to pay all the restitution.
Yes, there you go.
And I was like, oh my goodness. My mom was like, you know how much you've cost us? Because
what people don't understand is that you got to pay for everything you messed up.
Yeah. You go to the police station and they got like a book right there of all the stuff with your name on it and like a Polaroid, and you go through it and it's like, yep, that's that. We're charging you with this. We're charging you with this. And it's like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. And that was the
even know
last
where
time I
you're
ever,
there, yeah.
that's the last time I ever did it. But yeah, there's definitely consequences. So thank God to everybody. Later on, what I ended up doing when I started to do my shows, I put on hip hop shows, we did legal walls for people.
There you go.
To give them that outlet, because culture is culture, right?
Right. And people, like you said, people are paying for it. So they want you to come and paint this big old mural, and it's pretty cool. So I got buddies back home that are getting paid now to do humongous murals.
Really?
And stuff. Yeah.
So anybody like that's noteworthy, somebody that we might be able to look up on Instagram or something?
I got one of my buddies, Gore.
Gore?
He's out there, original, shout out to Headquarters Tattoo. He does a lot of murals for people. Not really notable people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're all pretty quiet, man.
Yeah.
We just kind of let the work speak for itself type thing.
Because I know in San Diego, up a little further, Tribal was
Tribal's
real
big
big,
out there, yeah.
right? And a lot of those artists go out and they do stuff, and they're also part of the tattoo community,
Yeah,
right?
big time, yeah.
Were you ever hang out with them? You ever get to?
Nah, so funny story is my sister's husband did, so he does construction. He actually built a building for those guys out in Tribal. And when I was like probably 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I got hooked up, bro, with a whole bunch of gear and stickers and all that stuff back then. But personally, I don't know them. So.
Yeah. So yeah, but it is like culture. It's something to do. It's what your friends are doing.
That's
and then
it.
one of my friends ended up doing Snoop Dogg's house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was on one of those, like the MTV Cribs version of it. They did that, and they got to show his artwork. He was in there doing it. He was just on TV very briefly, but he's from Phoenix, and he was able to be on there. And Snoop Dogg, commissioned a piece of artwork from this guy that just started off doing stuff as a kid.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, there's a lot of outlets for the art, man. You never know how far you can go. Get on like water bottle. I see a lot of like artists now on like those like water bottles and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break, and then on the other side, we're going to do two things. Talk a little bit about tattoo culture and how you ended up in Yuma.
All right,
we're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma Radio is sponsored in part by Nova Home Loans, serving Yuma County and nearby communities. Nova Home Loans offers residential lending services, including home loans and refinancing. They are also proud supporters of local community efforts and organizations. More information is available at novahomeloansyuma.com.
You are tuned to 94.7 FM KOFA Border Radio. Another hot day in Yuma as afternoon highs near 110 degrees. Light and variable winds becoming southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour tonight. Increasingly cloudy with a low near 79 degrees. Yaxel Lendeborg, who played at Arizona Western College in Yuma, was drafted by the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday. Lendeborg will become the fifth player in Arizona Western's men's basketball program history to reach the NBA. More on this online at kwc.org.
The City of Yuma invites families to Dive In Movie Night on Saturday, July 11th at Marcus Pool. Enjoy a free showing of The SpongeBob Movie, Search for SquarePants, from the pool or pool deck under the summer sky. Gates open at 7 and the movie begins at sunset. Information at yumaaz.gov under events.
This is Border Radio, KOFA, your passport to your global destination for music. We are your local public broadcasting station that can be heard through your radio at 94.7 FM, 1320 AM, on the KOFA app, and at borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here joined by
Adam from Solid Family Tattoo. And before we get into how you came to Yuma, I want to ask you, like, you have a lot of ink on you. What's most personal to you? Is like something you can share, like, either there's a story behind it or something meaningful to you?
Probably would be my grandparents' tattoo. I have some prayer hands and their initials and stuff like that. They're a big part of my life and
Very
where
cool.
I'm at. And they passed away about 15 years ago. So yeah, that's probably my most meaningful. A lot of them are just, we were bored at the tattoo shop and
Sure.
that was it.
No, that's very cool.
But yeah, that's
Very
probably
cool.
it.
And you said that your grandparents were very supportive of you and the art. How'd they support you?
Just letting me be me. So I would come home some days, man. I'd have a pile full of black books and deco markers and just cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just being real supportive, letting my friends come over there. And a lot of us were fatherless, you know, little delinquents and stuff. So we all kind of gathered there, and she was grandma to everybody. So
She was grandma, and she kind of let you be you to kind of develop this.
yeah, she'd be the one to, if we get in trouble at school, and she'd pick up all 5 of me and my friends, you know? So,
Yeah.
like
So then you're mentioning, so you were a suit for a while. You're doing that, and you had your health care, your dental, your vision, your set. And you married at that time?
no, we weren't married at that time, no.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet.
So then, what you kind of like just dropped the mic. I'm out of here. What was it that said I want to be a tattoo
Well,
artist?
me and my girl, we've been together now 18 years.
Okay.
So
You guys were together at that time.
we were together at that
Okay,
time,
just
but
not married.
we weren't
Okay.
married. So a big part of it was I had a friend that was tattooing, and I had him come over to do a house call, and he charged like this ridiculous number, and I was making, you know, X amount of dollars every 2 weeks, and he made my paycheck in like 30 minutes.
He made your paycheck in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, does this really math up? You know, you're
we go.
looking at it, and it's like, and then you said like, I could do this.
Yeah, I could do this. And I had a buddy he had a tattoo shop, and I was like, hey, hook me up with an apprenticeship. And he's like, fix this tattoo machine. I didn't know anything about that, so that kind of failed. So there goes my apprenticeship. And then I went and bought a little tattoo kit at some smoke shop and tattooed my legs all night. And
So you'd practice on yourself.
that's it. Yeah,
For how long did you practice on yourself?
probably like a week.
A week. And then apprenticeship, that's something, did you end up apprenticing under somebody? You got to learn from somebody, right?
You do, yeah. So the traditional apprenticeship is, you know, you don't learn nothing about tattooing. You're just running around grabbing coffees and lunch for everybody type thing, cleaning the shop. Now, I mean, everybody just grabs a machine and they're a tattoo artist, in my opinion. I don't want to knock anyone or anything like that. What I did was I got an apprenticeship through one of my buddies. I went there. I linked up really, really well with one of the artists, and he kind of just taught me everything he knew and took me under his wing.
So what are some of the things you learn as an apprentice?
A lot of it would be the customer service side.
Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot of guys don't know how to interact and have a conversation with the customer. So a lot of that kind of gets shut down at the door when you walk in, and you're just, the intimidation's there, and you can't talk to the guy, and then it's just, you're out the door. So a lot of the customer service, the cleanliness, you know what I mean, things like that.
And that's huge. And I want to talk about like tattoo culture, because that's big, right? If you go into somebody and kind of, wait a minute, like this isn't like up to standards, right? And then those are frowned upon within the community.
It is. It's frowned upon against, like, a lot of guys go about it the right way, some don't. So it is frowned upon. A lot of it's that cross-contamination, man. You know, you're cutting someone open. You're putting ink in them, so you want to be clean. You know, you want to be in a nice sterile environment. So a lot of the cleanliness is what I learned out there in San Diego. So
yeah. So what about skill wise? Do they kind of help you with stuff like shading, how to do these certain things?
They teach you some
because
of that.
you switch between needles, right? Depending on if you're doing shading, stuff like that. So how do they help you with that?
Yeah, they'll teach you needle size, depth, a lot of like color and saturation, theories like that, and just ways to, you know, make the process faster, like way to like make the stencil a little more simple, and just kind of make
So
things
simplify some stuff.
simplify some things. Yeah.
So what's that like? Can you tell me a little bit of what that looks like? If somebody comes in like, I want this, and then you simplify it, like,
Yeah. So a lot of people come in now with the AI stuff, so that's kind of hard to simplify something that's crazy.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'll turn that down a lot. I do a lot of traditional stuff, so I still have to draw things, which is nice. So you can simplify a lot of things by just taking out a lot of the crazy, like little small detail and stuff like that, and it's going to make that piece look a lot better.
and that's interesting. You take out the detail, but it actually looks better, and you have to know that, right, going into it.
Right.
And you can maybe, like you said, the customer service side, it's like, no, I really want this. Like, I know you think you want it, right? It's
right.
like, yeah,
But this is going to be a disaster. You know what I
it's
mean?
not going to be a good ending to this, and you're going to get mad at me, and then I got to go out and it's like, yeah, I did do that tattoo, but I didn't
Then
want
you
to.
go show your whole family and everybody in Yuma, you know, and then it's not looking too good.
So then, so how'd you end up in Yuma?
So we were first out in Phoenix. So we've been out in Arizona for about 8 years now. I was just trying to get closer to home, and I like the culture out here, and it feels a little more diverse.
What was it like when you got to Phoenix?
It was cool. It's a little busy, so it's kind of like San Diego, but the heat.
Yeah, and you said where you're at in Imperial Beach area, that it was more of a small town feel.
Right.
But you had San Diego right there if you needed to go to the big city.
Yep.
And then so you get to Phoenix, and Phoenix is a little bit more like San Diego, the big city stuff.
Right. And then I opened up out there. So I had my first shop out there, and it was busy, and I had an artist, and he's like, hey, man, if you're trying to relocate, you should try Yuma, because he was out here for a while. And he's like, it's, your San Diego's right there, and Phoenix is right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, bam, I was like, hey, let's go. We're going to go to Yuma.
So you just told the family, like, all right, this is what we're going to do.
That's it.
And you started looking for places to live. And
that was it, yeah. A big thing with me, I was always tried to own a house. So moving forward and trying to own a house, I was just like Googling and looking, and, Yuma popped up, and I was like, hey, that's
a lot cheaper than Phoenix and San Diego, right?
Is, yeah, a lot cheaper. Well, now it's starting to.
It's going. It's climbing. As
Sorry
more people.
about that. No,
it's your fault. You're coming over here.
Yeah.
But then when you get here, do you automatically open up a shop? What do you do?
Automatically open up a shop. Yeah, I didn't find myself working with anyone. I kind of looked around and stuff like that, and reached out to a few people, but I just figured, I could still run my own thing out here. It just works better for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how do you do it? You're a newbie here for Yuma, right? You're in the game for a little bit, but nobody knows you. So how do you start, chipping away?
It's just, I just started doing it, man. I just hit the ground running. I opened up. I just started kind of reaching out to a few people. I went to right there across the street military base and was just handing out cards.
Okay, because military people come through here, and definitely that's a lot of. I grew up around tattoo shops, so military, they come in constantly here.
I opened up. I kind of got lucky, so I opened up right when WTI was out here.
Oh, okay.
And I was across the street, and I was handing out cards, and I was like, dude, there's like 20,000 Marines right here. Like, okay, and then. I think like the next day I had like five guys hit me up, and they came in all at the same time, and all got tattooed, and then that was it.
So then they go back and they kind of tell their friends like, hey, you got to go over there.
Yep.
And you said you were across from the Marine base. You had a shop there?
Yeah, we were right across the street for about a year, and then I had like a 1,200 square foot unit, but it was just me, so it was a little overkill.
Yeah. And you mentioned family. Obviously, it's in the name. So why is that family part important for you?
So family's a big thing to me. I grew up a little rough without, mom and dad around and stuff. So when me and my wife started having children, the family thing and the family aspect is real big to me. I've always wanted a strong, family unit. So I've always wanted a solid family, man. So.
Yeah. And so you put it in the name. And then how do you live it out in the culture?
Just staying out there, man, welcoming everybody in, keeping it a family unit, everybody's welcome, just keeping it tight, keeping it real, keeping it solid.
Yeah, and then you mentioned on your social media that you could go, and I know this, I do social media for a living, but you could go and you could put this really cool piece that you do spend a lot of time on, this excellent tattoo, you put it up on your Instagram and it'll, get a few likes here and that. But if you put some video of you and your family at like Whalen's Water World or at the river, what happens?
It goes crazy, man. I think it's, a lot of it was, trying to showcase the art, but I think people want to see who you are now.
Yeah.
They want to see your family. They want to see that side of you. So I guess putting my face out there and my family out there, it's a little hard at times, because I'm putting my kids out there.
Yeah. So you want to be careful or whatever, and, be respectful and everything.
Yeah. So it's just trying to get the eyes on us and let people know that we are a real family shop. You know what I mean? And we're here for the community. We're here for the long run. So.
Very cool.
Yeah. So Victor, did he convince you? Is he a good enough guy that we could go and get Victor's first tattoo?
If and when I get a tattoo, you'll be the first person I call.
Right.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Cool, man. So thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
And so let everybody know where they can find you on Instagram.
So you can find us at Solid Family Tattoo. Our location is 1700 South First Avenue, Suite 114, right here in Yuma.
All right,
Johnny, you got to show the ink again. Show on camera.
It's peeling a little bit if
a few days in there.
Very cool, yeah.
But I will
Mike with the Arizona.
I'll come back on Monday with another one, so wait and see for that. But,
TBD, yeah.
Chili from Philly. Nick Papagiorgio from Yuma.